Alright, so in this question of the year, we're given the following expression. We've got sine 2x, and we've got sine x, tan x, and a squared, and b, and all these different components where we've got to find the exact value of q. I've broken up these into several parts where you can see that I've taken sine 2x, calculated it separately, substituted x equals to 45 in there, and got 1 in red. And I did exactly the same thing for the orange component, which is sine x over there, and that became 0.7071. After that, finding 10x in green equal to 1, 1045 is 1. All of this put in a calculator. Calculator work must be really good at this point. Alright. And so once we substitute all of this, you can see on the right hand side I've got q, and each of those components get substituted in there. It's getting me the final answer there. Alright, so the first answer over here basically comes to using just substitution, right? So this is just a substitution question, and we're just substituting x equals to 45, a equals to 18, and b equals to root 2. And you can see all of those substitutions coming in over there, and this one was 4 times 1, which is actually there. Alright, now, question number B. Alright, so if I don't use a calculator for question A, then I'm just going to write here without a calculator. Without a calculator, we need to know this, which is root 2 over 2, which is sine 45. And this is part of a section called special angles. Yeah, it's alright. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put all of that in here. It's going to become 1 plus root 2. Then it's going to be 2 root 2 over 2 minus 1, like that, all divided by 324 minus 4. And at the top here, you can see that 2's will cancel out. You'll be left with, and I can change this to root 2 plus 1, swap it around. And I can change this side into root 2 minus 1 over 320. And this over here is a difference of squares. The difference of squares factorization. Product of two brackets factorized. And that'll become 2 minus 1 over 320. Over 320, which is 1 over 320. So 1 divided by 320 is the final answer there. And if you put it in a calculator, it gives you that. If you have to not use a calculator, that means you have to take 320 divided into 1 and then put a few zeros like that. 3 can't go into 1, can't go into 10, can't go into 100. It can go into 1,000 3 times, and then you put the remainder in here. And 320 times 3 is 960, so the remainder is going to be 40. So then you put 40 there. 320 goes into 400 once, right? And it's going to go into the remainder 80. Then it goes to 800 twice, because 320 times 2 is 640, and it becomes 160. So, and then it becomes 160, which is going to be 1,600. So it goes into there 4 times. And then the remainder is 320, 640 times 2 is 100, 1,280. So 1,280, etc. And then you can see the number, that number is starting to form. And this is without a calculator. Okay. Let's move on to question number B now. Question number B says, give your answer in part A corrected 3 decimal places. So we've got this number over here, and we need to round it to 3 decimal places. Now, 3 decimal places means that we have to have those 3 values over there only. So this is going to be 0.003 3 decimal places. All right. 3 significant figures means that you need to remember which is significant. So when it comes to significant figures, if you got 0.003124, these are not significant. These are not significant, not significant. But 3, 1, and 2 is significant. So this is going to be 0.00312 for 3 significant figures. Yeah, so when you have a decimal, the zeros before the number is not significant. So to find the percentage error is going to be calculated by I take the 0.003, which is when I round it to three decimal places, because it says three decimal places, which is 0.003, and I subtract it from that number there, right, which is going to be, if I take that number and I minus 0.003124898 and I minus 0.003, I'm going to be left with 0.000124898. And then if I take 0.1230124,898 and I divide it by the original 0.003124898 and multiply it by 100. So I'm finding the distance between the two and I'm dividing it multiplied by 100. On the calculator I get 0.123124898 divided by 0.003124898 times by 100 comes to 3.99686%, or like 4%. All right, calculate percentage errors if it's given the three decimal places. So why do we have a percentage error, right? We have a percentage error because this is the exact value, right? Right, this is the exact value, and this one here is the rounded value. So we know this is got, and because we've removed this part over here, we've taken that as a percentage out. The answer is not exact, which means it's close to 100% correct. It's not 100% correct. It's actually 96% correct. 4% of the entire number comes from that decimal that we took away. 4% of the number comes from there. Yeah. All right. So when you round a number, you lose accuracy. And when you round it to three decimal places, you will lose 4% of your